Yeah. Welcome to the wild side. Stories, culture, hustle, pain, laughter. From the heart of the Central Valley to the world. This is being loud. With the man like ocean. Sexy and spicy, baby. Let's go.
Hey, Sabaidi, Mr. Kun Pinong, and like aloha mahalo to all my ohanas out there. Welcome back to Being Loud. This week, we're talking about healing. Not the version people post online with perfect captions and motivational music in the background. Not the fake, I'm doing amazing smile people wear while they're falling apart inside. We're talking about real healing. The kind that happens quietly, the kind that hurts before it helps. The kind that forces you to sit alone with your thoughts and finally confront the pain you've been running from for years. Healing after heartbreak, healing after divorce, healing after betrayal, healing after losing yourself while you're trying to save everyone else. A lot of people know how to survive, but very few people actually know how to heal. And there's a difference. Survival teaches you how to keep moving. Healing teaches you how to finally breathe again. For many of us, especially men, and especially in the Asian cultures, we were raised to stay quiet, stay strong, don't complain, don't cry, don't show weakness. You just keep going. You work harder, you provide, you sacrifice, you carry the pressure silently because that's what you were taught a man is supposed to do. But nobody teaches us what happens when all the pain stays trapped inside. Nobody teaches us how dangerous silence can become, because eventually silence turns into anger or depression or loneliness or emotional numbness. And sometimes we become so good at pretending we're okay that we don't even realize how broken we actually are. That's why this conversation matters. Because healing isn't weakness. Healing is courage. Healing is courage. It takes courage to admit you're hurting. It takes courage to face your trauma instead of hiding behind distraction. It takes courage to rebuild yourself after life tears you apart. It takes courage to rebuild yourself after life tears you apart. And let's be honest, life will tear you apart sometimes. Relationship ends. People betray you. Friends disappear. Families break up. Dreams collapse. People you trust becomes strangers. And one of the hardest lessons in life is realizing that not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay forever. Some people are only meant to be part of one chapter, one season, one lesson, and that's okay. That's okay. Not everyone goodbye is a failure. Sometimes people leave because they were never meant to walk the entire journey with you. Sometimes relationships end because you outgrow each other. Sometimes love changes. Sometimes people carry wounds they never healed from themselves. And sometimes, no matter how much you love someone, you cannot save them. That's a painful truth many of us struggle to accept, especially people with big hearts, especially people who constantly put others before themselves. You start believing that if you just love harder, sacrifice more, stay patient longer, maybe things will finally change. But healing begins the moment you realize you cannot destroy yourself trying to fix everyone else. Read that again. You cannot destroy yourself trying to fix everyone else. Protecting your peace is not selfish. Setting boundaries is not selfish. Walking away from toxic situation is not selfish. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is let go. Not with hate, not with revenge, not with bitterness. Just acceptance. And honestly, that's one of the hardest parts. That is one of the hardest parts of healing. Learning to let go without becoming cold. Because pain changes people. Heartbreak changes people. Betrayal changes people. You start questioning your worth. You start questioning your judgment. You start questioning whether love is even real anymore. And if you're not careful, pain can turn you into someone you don't recognize. That's why healing requires self-awareness. You have to ask yourself difficult questions. Am I healing? Or am I just distracting myself? Am I growing? Or am I becoming emotional, unavailable? Am I protecting my peace? Or am I building walls nobody can enter? That's difference. Real healing doesn't harden your heart forever. It teaches you wisdom without destroying your ability to love. And that takes time. A lot of people rush healing because they hate being alone. But loneliness isn't always punishment. Sometimes loneliness is where you finally meet yourself. No distractions, no validation, no pretending, just you. Your thoughts, your fears, your insecurities, your truth. And honestly, many people avoid healing because they're terrified of sitting alone with themselves. That's why people jump from one relationship to relationship. That's why people numb themselves with work, alcohol, social media, attention, or temporary pleasure. Anything to avoid feeling. But eventually, the pain catches up. It always does. Healing begins when you stop running. When you finally say, I'm hurt. I'm tired. I'm not okay. And I want better for myself. That moment changes everything. Because now you're no longer surviving an autopilot. Now you're becoming intentional about your life. You start protecting your energy differently. You start choosing peace over chaos. You start realizing not every argument deserves your attention. Not every opinion deserves your reaction. Not every person deserves access to you. That's growth. And growth requires release. You cannot become a healthy version of yourself while holding on to things that continuously break you. Sometimes healing means forgiving people who never apologize, not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. That doesn't mean forgetting what happened. Healing doesn't mean pretending the pain never existed. It means the pain no longer controls your future. It means you stop allowing old wounds to detect your happiness. It means you stop allowing old wounds to dictate your happiness. And maybe that's the biggest lesson of all. Your past may explain you, but it does not have to define you. You are not your heartbreak. You are not your trauma. You are not your failure. You are not the mistake you made while trying to survive difficult seasons. You are still worthy of love, still worthy of peace, still worthy of happiness, even after everything, especially after everything. And for anyone listening right now who feels broken, listen carefully. Healing is not linear. Some days you feel strong. Some days you feel like you're back at the beginning. That's normal. Healing comes in waves. There will be days you miss people you know were bad for you. Days you question your progress. Days old memories hit harder than expected. But don't confuse temporary pain with failure. You are still healing. Keep going. Be patient with yourself. You survived things that once felt impossible. Give yourself credit for that. And remember this. The strongest people are not the one who never break. The strongest people are the one who break, heal, and still choose to love, grow, and move forward anyway. It's strength, real strength. So, if you're in a difficult season right now, if you're rebuilding after heartbreak, if you're learning how to love yourself again, if you're trying to find peace after chaos, I want you to know something. You are not alone. And this chapter of pain is not the end of your story. Sometimes life breaks you apart so you can rebuild yourself correctly. Sometimes losing everything teaches you what truly matters. And sometimes the most powerful transformation happens quietly, behind closed doors, when no one else sees the battle you're fighting. Keep healing anyway. Keep growing anyway. Keep choosing yourself anyway. Because one day, you look back and realize the pain that almost destroyed you became the reason you evolved into someone stronger, wiser, calmer, and more authentic. That's the journey. That's growth. That's healing. And maybe this conversation today was exactly what someone out there needed to hear. Khop-chai, and thank you for being here. Khop-chai, thank you for listening. This is KP, the Madly Ocean, keeping always things sexy and spicy. I want to say thank you, Khop-chai, to all my Ohanas out there, to my families, to the one that supported me, to all the loved ones. Thank you. All right. Laugh, smile, and serve others with unconditional love, people. And welcome to Being Loud.
The journey. stay sexy and spicy. We don't wait, we create.